Subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next.
So, it's here. Every September we get into this familiar rhythm, the keynote happens, the pre-orders go live, and then a box shows up at my door. This year, it's the iPhone 17. And just like clockwork, the box feels a little bit thinner than last year's. It's become a running theme at this point. Apple's commitment to minimalism, both in its product design and its packaging, continues to be a central part of the experience. Pulling the tabs on the back of the box still gives you that satisfying rip. It's a small detail, but it's one of those things that marks the beginning of the new phone journey. It's a ritual, one that millions of people around the world are about to experience. Lifting the lid, you are greeted by the phone itself, face down. This year I went with the Pro Max in that new titanium slate color, and it looks clean. Underneath the phone, the contents are exactly what you'd expect, which is to say, not a lot. You get a USB-C to USB-C cable. And yes, it's a nice braided cable, which has been a welcome standard for a couple of years now. It feels durable and less likely to fray over time compared to the old plastic ones. You also get the usual packet of paperwork, the SIM ejector tool, for those not on eSIM, and a single Apple sticker. That's it, no power brick, no headphones. This isn't a surprise anymore, but it's worth noting for anyone upgrading from a much older phone. The unboxing experience is fast. It's designed to get you to the main event, the phone, as quickly as possible. Apple has this down to a science. There's no wasted space, no unnecessary plastic wrap, and the whole thing feels very deliberate. The focus is entirely on the device. As soon as you pick it up, the packaging is forgotten. It's a means to an end. The real story begins the moment your fingers touch the cool metal and glass of the iPhone 17 itself. It feels familiar, yet there are subtle differences that you notice almost immediately. The weight, the balance, the texture of the side rails, it all contributes to that initial impression. And that first boot up is still a special moment. The iconic Apple logo appears on that perfectly black screen. Then you're guided through the setup process, which is quicker than ever if you're coming from another iPhone. Just bring your old phone close and it starts the transfer. Within minutes, your new device is a mirror of your old one, but faster and with new features to explore. It's a seamless transition, designed to minimize friction and get you using your new hardware right away. The initial setup is smooth, intuitive, and a testament to the ecosystem Apple has built over the years. It just works. But now, let's talk about the phone itself. This year, Apple has refined the design of the iPhone 17 series in some interesting ways. They're calling the new design language Contour Edge. The sharp, flat edges we've had for a few generations are now slightly rounded. It's not a full curve like the iPhone 11, but it's a subtle softening of the corners. This makes the phone feel much more comfortable to hold. It's a small change on paper, but in the hand, it makes a significant difference. It doesn't dig into your palm during long periods of use. It's a blend of the modern, flat-edge look and the ergonomics of a curved phone. I think it's a solid improvement. The materials are top-notch, as you'd expect. The Pro and Pro Max models use a new Grade 6 titanium alloy for the frame. Apple says it's more scratch-resistant and slightly lighter than last year's Grade 5 titanium. It has a brush texture that feels great and does a fantastic job of hiding fingerprints, which is a huge plus. The colors for the Pro models are very muted and professional. We have titanium slate, a deep graphite, desert gold, a pale gold, and Pacific blue, a returning fan favorite. The standard iPhone 17 and the new iPhone 17 Air use a bead-blasted aluminum frame with a matte finish, which also feels premium and comes in more vibrant colors. Durability has also seen an upgrade. The front display is covered by ceramic shield, which Apple claims is tougher than ever. The back glass also has a new dual ion exchange process, making it more shatter-resistant. All models are rated IP68 for water and dust resistance, meaning they can survive being submerged in up to 6 meters of water for 30 minutes. You shouldn't go swimming with it on purpose, but it provides peace of mind against accidental drops in the sink or getting caught in the rain. These are expensive devices, so seeing Apple continue to invest in making them more robust is always a good thing. One of the biggest physical changes is the action button. Last year, it was exclusive to the Pro models. This year, it's on all 4 iPhone 17 models, replacing the classic mute switch for good. It's customizable, so you can set it to open the camera, turn on the flashlight, start a voice memo, or run a custom shortcut. This is a great move for consistency across the lineup. It makes the feature accessible to more people and signals that this is the new standard for iPhone interaction. It's a small hardware button that unlocks a lot of software potential. and I'm glad to see it become a default feature for everyone. The display on the iPhone 17 is, in a word, stunning. But that's what we say every year, right? So let's break down what's actually new. All four models get a significant boost in peak brightness. The Standard and Air models can now reach 1,200 nits of peak HDR brightness, while the Pro and Pro Max models push that to an incredible 2,500 nits. In direct sunlight, this makes a huge difference. The screen is incredibly legible, and content just pops. It's one of the most vibrant and color-accurate displays I've ever seen on a smartphone. Watching HDR video on this thing is a treat. The biggest news for the display, however, is promotion. For years, the super smooth 120Hz refresh rate was a feature reserved for the Pro models. This year, Apple has finally brought it to the entire lineup. The iPhone 17 Air and the standard iPhone 17 now have promotion, and it is a game changer for the user experience. Scrolling through social media, browsing the web, and even just navigating the home screen feels incredibly fluid and responsive. It makes the phone feel faster. This is one of those upgrades that, once you experience it, is very hard to go back from. It's probably the single biggest reason to upgrade for many users of standard iPhones. Then there's the Dynamic Island. It's back on all four models, but it's slightly smaller this year. Apple has managed to shrink the camera and sensor housing by about 20%. It's not a massive change, but it does give you a little more screen real estate. The software integrations for the Dynamic Island continue to get better, with more apps using it for live activities, notifications, and alerts. It's a clever way to turn a hardware cutout into a useful software feature. It's less of a novelty now, and more of an integrated part of the iOS experience, which is exactly what you want to see. Finally, let's talk about the bezels. They are ridiculously thin. Apple has managed to shrink the borders around the display on all sides, especially on the Pro models. This gives the iPhone 17 a more immersive, all-screen look. When you're watching a movie or playing a game, the content feels like it's floating in your hand. The combination of the thinner bezels, the smaller Dynamic Island, and the incredibly bright panel makes for a truly premium viewing experience. It's clear that Apple's display engineering team has been working overtime to push the boundaries of what's possible with a mobile screen. The camera is always a huge part of the iPhone story, and this year is no different. Let's start with the standard iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air. They get a major upgrade. Both models now feature a 48-megapixel main camera, inherited from last year's Pro models. This is a huge leap from the 12-megapixel sensor they had before. It means you can now shoot in Pro RAW and capture incredible detail. In standard photo mode, it uses pixel binning to combine 4 pixels into one, resulting in a super sharp 12-megapixel photo with much better low-light performance and less noise. This is a pro-level feature coming to the standard models. The second lens on the Air and standard models is still an ultra-wide camera. It's a solid 12-megapixel sensor that does a great job of capturing expansive landscapes and group shots. While it doesn't get the same massive megapixel bump as the main sensor, Apple says it has a new lens design that improves edge sharpness and reduces distortion. It also benefits from the new photonic engine, which applies computational photography improvements earlier in the imaging process. For most people, this dual camera system is more than powerful enough for everyday photos and videos. It's reliable, consistent, and easy to use. Now for the Pro models. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max get even more advanced. Both feature a new, larger 48-megapixel main sensor. A bigger sensor means bigger pixels, which capture more light. This translates to even better low-light photos with more detail and less noise. The Pro models also introduce a new periscope telephoto lens. The iPhone 17 Pro gets a 5 times optical zoom, while the larger Pro Max model has space for a more advanced lens, pushing it to a 10 times optical zoom. This is a massive jump, allowing you to get incredibly close to your subject without losing quality. It's a true flagship feature. On the video front, the entire lineup gets a new feature called Cinematic Stabilization. It's an enhanced version of Action Mode that uses AI to better predict motion and smooth out even the shakiest footage. For the Pro models, there are updates to ProRes video. You can now shoot ProRes in 4K at 120 frames per second, which is insane for slow-motion cinematic shots. You can also record directly to an external SSD via the USB-C port in the new Apple Log format, which offers more flexibility for color grading in post-production. The iPhone 17 series solidifies its position as a serious tool for content creators and filmmakers. Powering the new iPhones are two new chips. The iPhone 17 and 17 Air get the A18 Bionic chip. Now this is essentially a slightly modified version of last year's A17 Pro chip. It's still incredibly fast and more than capable of handling anything you can throw at it, from demanding games to multitasking. It's built on a 3nm process, making it very efficient. For users of the standard models, this is a significant performance uplift. It ensures that the phone will feel fast and responsive for years to come, and it can handle all the new AI and computational photography features with ease. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, however, debut the brand new A19 Pro chip. This is where Apple is really pushing the envelope. The A19 Pro is also built on a next-generation 3nm process, but it features a redesigned CPU and GPU architecture. Apple is claiming a 20% increase in CPU performance and a 30% increase in GPU performance over the A17 Pro, but the real story is the neural engine. It's reportedly twice as fast, with a focus on on-device AI and machine learning tasks. This powers features like live language translation, more advanced photo editing tools, and a smarter, more proactive Siri. Battery life is always a key concern, and Apple has made some solid improvements here. Thanks to the more efficient chips and slightly larger batteries in all models, you can expect better endurance across the board. Apple is claiming all-day plus battery life for the standard and Pro models, meaning they should comfortably get you through a full day of heavy use with some charge to spare. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, with its larger size, is still the undisputed battery king. Apple says it can last up to 2 full days with moderate use. This is a combination of hardware efficiency and smart software optimization. Connectivity also sees an upgrade with Wi-Fi 7 support on all models. This is the next generation of Wi-Fi, offering faster speeds, lower latency, and better performance in congested areas. You'll need a Wi-Fi 7 router to take full advantage of it, but it's a great future-proofing feature. The 5G modem has also been updated for better signal reception and efficiency. And of course the USB-C port is here to stay. On the Pro models it supports USB 4 speeds of up to 40 gigabits per second, making it incredibly fast for transferring large files like those big ProRes video files to a computer or external drive. This year the iPhone lineup feels more distinct than ever. We have 4 models and each one seems designed for a specific type of user. Let's start with the new kid on the block, the iPhone 17 Air. It has the same 6.1-inch screen size as the standard iPhone 17, but it's noticeably thinner and lighter. It feels amazing in the hand. It's for the person who wants the latest features, like a promotion display and a 48-megapixel camera, but prioritizes portability and comfort above all else. It's the perfect phone for someone who doesn't want to feel the weight of their device in their pocket. It's a minimalist's dream. The standard iPhone 17 is the new baseline. It's the default choice for most people. It has the same 6.1-inch display and powerful A18 Bionic chip as the Air, but in a slightly thicker body that houses a larger battery. It's the workhorse. It feels solid and substantial without being too heavy. With the addition of promotion and the 48-megapixel camera, the standard model no longer feels like a major compromise. It's a true flagship phone that delivers a fantastic experience. It's for the user who wants a reliable, powerful, and feature-rich iPhone that just works, without needing the absolute top-tier specs of the Pro line. Moving up to the iPhone 17 Pro, this is where things get serious. It has the same 6.1-inch screen size, but it feels denser and more premium thanks to the titanium frame. This is the phone for the enthusiast who wants all the best features in a manageable one-handed size. You get the faster A19 Pro chip, the more advanced camera system with the 5x telephoto zoom, and the super-fast USB-C port. It's for the person who wants pro-level power and photography tools but doesn't want the giant screen of the Pro Max. It's the compact powerhouse of the lineup. Finally, there's the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is the everything phone. The big screen, big battery, no compromise device. At 6.7 inches, it's a two-handed phone for most people. The new Contour Edge design does make it a bit more comfortable to hold than previous Max models, but it's still a beast. This is for the power user, the content creator, the mobile gamer, and anyone who uses their phone as their primary computing device. You get the best of everything Apple has to offer: the biggest and brightest display, the longest battery life, and the most advanced camera system with that exclusive 10 times optical zoom. It's the pinnacle of the iPhone 17 series. Okay, let's talk about what these cameras can actually do. I took all 4 models out around the city to see how they perform in the real world. In good daylight, all 4 iPhones take incredible photos. The colors are vibrant but natural, the dynamic range is excellent, and the detail is sharp. The 48 megapixel main sensor on the standard and Air models is a huge step up. You can zoom in to 2 times with a high-quality crop, which is a very useful feature. The photos are nearly indistinguishable from the Pro models in bright light, which is a huge win for the non-Pro lineup this year. Where you start to see the difference is in challenging lighting conditions. In low light, the larger sensor on the Pro and Pro Max really shines. Photos are brighter, cleaner, and have noticeably less noise. The camera is able to maintain more detail in the shadows without blowing out the highlights. Night mode activates faster and produces more natural-looking results. The standard models are still very good in low light, much better than previous generations, but the Pros are just on another level. The combination of the bigger sensor and the A19 Pro's processing power is clearly visible. The telephoto lens is the real star of the Pro models. Having a 5 times optical zoom on the iPhone 17 Pro and a 10 times optical zoom on the Pro Max is a game changer. I was able to capture photos of distant architecture and portraits from across the street with stunning clarity. The 10 times zoom on the Pro Max is particularly impressive. It lets you frame shots in ways that were simply not possible on an iPhone before. It's not just a gimmick, it's a genuinely useful creative tool. For parents trying to get a shot of their kid on stage or travelers wanting to capture a distant landmark, this is an incredible feature. In terms of video, the new cinematic stabilization is excellent. I ran down a flight of stairs while recording, and the footage came out remarkably smooth. It's not quite at the level of a physical gimbal, but it's getting very close. It makes action mode usable in more situations, especially in lower light where it struggled before. Shooting ProRes video in 4K 120 frames per second on the Pro models is just wild. The slow motion clips are buttery smooth and packed with detail. It's a professional-grade feature that opens up a lot of creative possibilities for filmmakers who want to travel light. So, after spending some time with the entire iPhone 17 lineup, who should buy what? This year, the choices are clearer than ever. This update feels significant, especially for the non-Pro models. The addition of ProMotion and the 48 megapixel camera to the base models really elevates the entire lineup. It closes the gap between the standard and Pro iPhones, making the standard models a much more compelling choice than in previous years. The entire family of phones feels more cohesive and feature-complete, which is a great thing for consumers looking for value at different price points. If you value portability and a lightweight design above all else, the new iPhone 17 Air is for you. It's a beautiful device that doesn't compromise on the core experience, giving you that smooth 120Hz display and a great camera in the thinnest package possible. For most people, however, I think the standard iPhone 17 is the one to get. It's the perfect balance of features, performance, and price. It has the best battery life of the 6.1-inch models, and now includes the 2 key features, ProMotion and a high-res camera, that used to be Pro exclusive. It's the new default iPhone, and it's a fantastic one. If you're a creative professional, a tech enthusiast, or someone who just wants the best camera in a compact form factor, the iPhone 17 Pro is your phone. The A19 Pro chip is a powerhouse, and that 5 times telephoto lens gives you a lot of creative flexibility. It's for the user who pushes their phone to its limits but prefers a device that's easy to use with one hand. But if you want the absolute best of everything Apple has to offer with no compromises, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the undisputed champion. The huge, beautiful screen, the incredible battery life, and that insane 10 times optical zoom camera make it the ultimate smartphone on the market today. In conclusion, the iPhone 17 series is a major step forward. It's not just an incremental year update. The design refinements make the phones more comfortable, the displays are brighter and better, and the camera upgrades are significant across the board. But the most important story this year is the democratization of features. Bringing ProMotion and a 48 megapixel camera to the standard models makes the entire lineup stronger. It means you no longer have to spend top dollar to get a truly top-tier experience. and that makes the iPhone 17 a very big and very welcome update.